Shanno Mitra Shang Varunaha Shanno Bhavatvaryama Shangna Indro Brihaspatihi Shangno Vishnu Rurukramaha Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayo Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmasi Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahma Vadishyami Ritam Vadishyami Satyam Vadishyami Tanmamavatu Tadvaktaram Avatu Avatu Mam Avatu Vaktaram Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Now, Maharaj, to you now, please.
Let us begin as usual our session with our Guru Pranam. Om Akhanda Mandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tat Padam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Harihi Om. Om Namo Bhagavate Ramakrishnaya. Thank you, Juma, for the nice chanting of the Vedic mantras. Peace mantra they are called. Today, this class also is after 2 months. We have resumed this class. And I would request Prithvish to read the passage from the book titled For Seekers of God. This is a book translated into English from Bengali. The original book is named Sivananda Vani. So the Sivananda Vani has been translated, so that is what we are reading. So let me hand over to Prithvish now.
Pranam Maharaj and friends, you all have the book. I have, if you don't have the book, I have already circulated the PDF copy of it in our Tat Padam group. I am reading from chapter 6. Death in Varanasi, its spiritual advantage, and the devotee is unconcerned where he dies. The place is Belur Monastery, time October 1923. Swami Suddhananda was going to Varanasi from Belur. In that connection, while discussing the spiritual advantages of living in the holy city, Mahapurushji said, "So and so wrote me, pressing me to come to Varanasi." Swami Satchidananda also wrote apprehensively, "We hear you have not been very well. You have had enough activity. So do come to Varanasi. Let the younger generation manage things now. It is for you to come and retire in Varanasi." Swami Satchidananda fears my body will not last very long and wants me to spend my last days in the holy city. But with us, every place is the same as Varanasi. Wherever and in whatever state we die, it is equal to dying in Varanasi. As long as the Master wants us here in the flesh, death cannot touch us. If the Lord protects, who can kill? When the summons for release comes from the Lord himself, nobody can keep us here. We are ever ready to depart from this life. It is worldly people who in old age think of retiring to Varanasi for its spiritual advantages. We belong to a different category. The Master has graciously given us everything. Where and under what condition his devotees give up their bodies is immaterial. Their future is ensured even as is the future of one dying in Varanasi. Swami Trigunatita gave up his life in San Francisco. Did this affect him? He was certainly united with the Master after death. The heart of a man in which God, the Lord of the universe, is enshrined is as good only as holy Varanasi. Such a man has no reason to be afraid. Pranam Maharaj, that's the end of the chapter.
Yes, so this is the chapter 6 that we heard now from Prithvish. Thank you for reading it. Yes, this is a topic, we all are familiar with. Every Hindu in our country born and brought up in a Hindu way has got certain inherent beliefs. And the Hindus who are outside India, who are born and brought up also, they have been given by their forefathers some of the elementary ideas that are kept in and we nourish those ideas. Such of the people I have seen, see, we don't understand the worth of India when we are in India. Because India, we are staying, we are born, staying, dying, so we think it's all normal. But it is not so to the Indians who reside outside India. I have seen the people who are so much yearning, so much willing to come to India, at least once in their lifetime, to India and see this Pavitra Bhumi and then go back to their place of stay. So we can see how much energy they get. Recently, I received a couple from South Africa, from Petermaritzburg. So Mr. Sanjay and Reshma, when they came here and met me, they were simply stunned. They were telling, Swamiji, India is so great. And we have been going to different places of pilgrimage. And then we decided to come and meet you. And that's why we came to Yelagiri. They came here and they stayed for one day and they left. And what a great satisfaction they had visiting India, touching India's bhumi. That's a great thing. When Swamiji was asked after his return from America, what do you think of India? Said, before my going to America, India was a holy land. After my coming, every sand of India is holy to me, he said. So that is that wonderful faith in the land where you are born. This is called Matru Bhumi, a Bhumi which is like your mother, where you are begotten here by the mother Bhumi, that is this earth. So India has got a wonderful eminence in spiritual significance. But within India, again, there are places which are called very important from the point of view of spiritual life. Say, for instance, there are 12 Jyotirlingas, we say. There are 12 places where Lord Shiva, Shivalinga, came out on its own. No human hand was involved in its manifestation. So likewise, 12 places. They are all holy places. Likewise, we go to Varanasi, we go to Vrindavan, we go to Haridwar, and if you come to the southern side, in Tamil Nadu itself, people go to Rameshwaram, and then Kanyakumari, and in Karnataka, and Andhra Pradesh, and everywhere, Kerala, there are so many holy places. And people walk into those holy places and stay at least for 3 nights. As Holy Mother used to tell us, if you go to a place of pilgrimage, you should at least stay for the 3 nights in that place. Why? The 3 nights will give you that wonderful, the atmosphere of the place. You will be able to grasp it. 1 night is not enough to grasp. So such is the ideas that we have got in all of us. So Varanasi is one of the important place in India. This is Varuna Asi. There are 2 rivers. They are coming from up and then going to the southern side, and it just moves out, takes out a different path, and then coming again and then join together. So the spot that is in between, as an island between Varuna river and Asi river, is called Varanasi. So that's a wonderful, literally we can say that Varanasi, that particular spot is so wonderful. Why it is wonderful? It has been said not from yesterday or day before yesterday. For ages together, from the Puranas time onwards, we see Varanasi has been praised so much. And there is, you may be finding it difficult to swallow this idea, but modern days. But in the olden days, I have also heard from many older people when I was young, I have heard this, that last days, I want to spend my days in Varanasi. What is the reason? The reason is, anyway, I'm going to die now. I'm above 80 years. I'm going to die. So let me go to Varanasi and then die. That dying in Varanasi, death in Varanasi, has got any meaning? Why people have to think that they have to go to Varanasi and die? 3 or 4 years back, a Swami was of our order, was diagnosed for cancer in Bombay. He said, the doctor said, your life is at least another 1 year or 1.5 years, that's all. The doctor pronounced the duration is another 18 months or so. The Swami said, refuse to take any medicine, any type of treatment for cancer. He simply requested our headquarters, please send me to Varanasi. I like to leave my body in Varanasi. So he was brought to Varanasi, and according to his wish, he of course passed away much before 18 months. So you can see the idea that if I have to die, I should die in Varanasi. That idea is not only from the Uttar Pradesh people. It is there. No, it is there for the Kashmiri people, and it is there in the Kanyakumari people also. I have heard from different parts of India, they are speaking about the glory of Varanasi. So the same thing here we find in October 1923 in Belur Math Monastery. Swami Sivananda Maharaj is sitting and he is talking. So Swami Suddhananda has come there. He is going to Varanasi from Belur Math for some official work. And then, so he was discussing. During the discussion, he said to Mahapurush Maharaj that I am going to Varanasi for an official purpose, because every time the secretaries they go out of Belur Math, they have to report to the president. So Shivananji was president. So he went to President Maharaj and told him, Swamiji, I am going there. I said, then Mahapurush Maharaj is telling him, so and so wrote me, pressing me to come to Varanasi. So and so. Who is that? We do not know. But he says. Then he adds, Swami Satchidananda also wrote. Swami Satchidananda also was a disciple of Swami Vivekananda. He also wrote apprehensively. Why? What is the apprehension of Swami Satchidananda? He thought Swami Shivananda's health is not going well because he is becoming aged and he is there in Belur Math and he can pass out from his body anytime. So that was the apprehension. So that Satchidananda Swami told him, Swamiji, you please come to Varanasi and stay with us. And if the body falls down here, it's very good. Because Varanasi is a place where final mukti is assured. So you please come here and let the youngsters manage the Belur Math affairs. So this is always said to the elderly people, Some elderly people, they don't want to leave their position. So some people come and tell them, hey, why you are holding to this position? Leave this. Let the younger people come up. You come away. Like that they say. So some people are like me who are ready to leave these positions, but the headquarters is not allowing. They are compelling me to go on, continue. Like that they are telling. So this happens. So let the younger generation manage things. It is for you to come and retire in Varanasi. This retirement, is not like a corporate retirement. Many devotees ask me, Swamiji, what is this? A Swami is telling that he is going to retire. What is this retirement? So, is it you got any, the job specifications? What you are doing, what you have to do, etc. Is there any contract with the management of Belur Math that you are serving so many years, you have to get a retirement at this age, etc.? I said, no, not such thing. But for want of suitable English word, we are using the word retirement. Retirement is a very well-known word among all the people. Those who are job seekers or job earners, they all know what is retirement. Because in the job itself, when they join, suppose you join a railway company, and the railway company will tell you in the appointment letter, your retirement date is so and so. They put it. So in corporate world, we know the retirement, we know. But in Ramakrishna Mission, there is no such a job contract with the management. We come on our own wish, on our own volition, we join. There is no contract. So at that particular age, you have to retire like that. There is no such rule. If that is so, then what is retirement for the monks? This question is asked many times to me. So I have got my own explanation. Whatever be the official explanation, I don't know. But when devotees ask me, I tell them, you see, retirement is only used to indicate that a person who is all along been busy with a lot of activities of the Ramakrishna Mutt and Ramakrishna Mission is going to be off from those activities. Then is it true? Suppose a Swami is doing accounting job. A Swami is doing a medical dispensary, is looking after that job. So that's all jobs. So the jobs, is going to retirement, is going away from that job? No. What retirement in Ramakrishna parlance means this, that we will not hold any position in the order. So you know when order comes out as an organization, so the organization needs limbs to function. The organization is nothing but like a human body. As a human body needs hands, legs, heart, etc., all these limbs. Likewise, an organization also needs these limbs. So the limbs are so many, the activities are so many. What it is, they require people standing in a particular position, performing a particular activity. Suppose in Yelagiri, we start a medical unit. Then I have to put some monk as in charge of medical unit. So this medical unit is a limb of the Yelagiri ashram. So you know that yesterday, Swami Gautamananji Maharaj, our revered President Maharaj, inaugurated the 25th Silver Jubilee celebration of our dispensary, of our temple in the Chennai Mutt. Likewise, the dispensary has completed 100 years in Chennai Mutt. So that also he inaugurated that function. So you find that these are the limbs of a particular organization's body. So these bodies have got certain person who is in charge of that. So the positions, what you hold in an organization, you will not be holding any position like secretary, treasurer, assistant secretary, and in charge, like that. Those positions will not be there. So one Swami got retired in Belur Mutt. So he was called the Chodda Maharaj. When I was in Ranchi, he came to Ranchi and stayed with me. Till I was there, he was with me in that center. So I asked Maharaj, I heard that you have retired. Yes, I retired. I said, so what did the Belur Mutt say? The Belur Mutt asked me, where do you want to go and stay during your retirement days? So I said, send me to Ranchi Sanatorium. Why? Because Vimokshananda is there. I want to stay with him. So loving Swami, he's very senior to me. So he came all the way from Belur Mutt to the sanatorium and stayed with me. And I asked him, Maharaj, they say, and you also have said to me that you are retired. You will not hold any position. So I offered him the vice president of the committee. He said, no, I am retired. I will not hold any position in the order. But don't think I am retired from any activity. I am still capable of doing some activity. So give me some work, a small work in office. I'll be able to do it. And till he was there with me, till 2007, I should say, he has been very, very punctually attending the office work. Every day he would come to office, do his allotted work and go away. So the activity he could do, but he would not hold any position. So that is called retirement. So the same thing, Swami Sachidanandji has been telling Swami Sivananda Maharaj, you come and retire in Varanasi. Don't hold any position, president, etc. Just leave that and come away to Varanasi and stay here till the body falls off. That is the meaning. So, and Mahapurush Maharaj is telling, Swami Sachidananda fears my body will not last very long and wants me to spend my last days in the holy city. Why? The holy city has got such a wonderful effect on the person's subtle body. We read about the significance of Varanasi, glory, in Leela Prasanga, translated into English as Sri Ramakrishna, the Great Master. There is a separate chapter for that, and Swami Saradananji very beautifully explains what is the value of Varanasi city for the Hindus. There are several Puranas are there. They speak about the glory of Varanasi. And to see Varanasi, Sri Ramakrishna, who is the Avatara Purusha of this age, from Dakshineswar, along with Mathur Babu, he travelled all the way to Varanasi. And he told Mathur Babu, you take me to Varanasi. And Mathur Babu arranged a train, etc. service, and then they were taken to Varanasi. And when he went to Varanasi, how happy Sri Ramakrishna was. Talking to everyone, he was so happy there. And then he went by the boat ride also, cruise, as we call it nowadays. So by the boat ride, seeing all the ghats. So one ghat is very famous there, is called Manikarnika Ghat. Manikarnika. So Karnika word comes from Karna. Karna word comes from the ordinary Hindi word Kan. Kan means ear. So the ear is very important. While Sri Ramakrishna had heard about Manikarnika God's glory from the great people whose Puranic experts who used to come and go from Kamarpukur, from those saints he has heard. But this time he had a vision of that Manikarnika Ghat. He was coming by the boat. From the boat, from a distance, he looked at Manikarnika Ghat. Manikarnika Ghat is the only ghat in India or in the world where per minute 4 bodies are burnt. And nowadays, because of the quick disposal process, 4 has gone into 18, they say. It's very difficult to believe it. But when you go to Varanasi, please stand there and count if you want. So it is said like that. They take the average per minute. How do they arrive at, by taking the total number of bodies burnt in a year. So one whole year, suppose they burnt 40,000 bodies, then they come to that minute and then they say that. Not that every minute 4 bodies are burnt like that. So you see that so much of bodies are burnt in that Manikarnika Ghat. What did Sri Ramakrishna see? Sri Ramakrishna had a wonderful vision there. The vision was, he saw Lord Shiva standing there. Along with him, Goddess Parvati in the form of Mother Kali, she is standing there. Parvati and Kali are non-different. We don't make much difference. Only in their forms they are different. When Parvati can come in the form of Kali, Kali can go back to her original form of Parvati. So Parvati is the spouse of Lord Shiva. So they are both standing there. And both have got a function. In those jivas who die there, the bodies are brought there. When the jiva separates from the body, and to that jiva, Sri Ramakrishna saw by his own eyes that what Shiva does and what Mother Kali does. So this has been written in the Kalika Purana, also in the Varanasi Purana, but nobody has so far verified it. Only from the vision of Sri Ramakrishna, we can say that Puranic truth written long, 5,000 years ago by Vyasadeva has been proved without any doubt. So, Sri Ramakrishna's experience in his religious life, you find validating the older truths spoken in the Puranas. How wonderful it is. That's why we are attracted to Sri Ramakrishna so much. When we read Sri Ramakrishna's gospel and the life of Sri Ramakrishna and the practices that he adopted, we can easily see that he has been revalidating one tick Kashi is a very Punya Kshetra, you tick. So Sri Ramakrishna has ticked it. So now we get the feeling that faith, yes, what has been told in the Puranas are true. So that's how that we see that. So the same way is such an important place. So why don't you come there? Now we have to see what is the response of Swami Sivananda Maharaj. He says, with us, he says, with us means the devotees of Sri Ramakrishna, the monks of the Ramakrishna order, or you can even shorten the description, circumference. If you shorten it, then the circle is between us means all the direct disciples of Sri Ramakrishna. You can go into that level, minute level. The direct disciples of Sri Ramakrishna, he says, for us, every place is the same as Varanasi. This is something, a wonderful statement. We all have to think of it. Even though you may love to leave your body in Varanasi, it doesn't mean that you are guaranteed to leave your body in Varanasi. So I remember one Swami, and I just joined Kanpur Ashram at that time. I went to Varanasi because my Gurudev came. So the head of the Kanpur center said, your Guru has come to Varanasi, why don't you go and spend some days with him and serve him? So I went to Varanasi. So I met a Swami there. And the Swami asked him, Maharaj, you have been very busy in some such center in Bengal. So when did you come? You see, I came to Varanasi 18 years back, thinking the next year I'm going to die. So I wanted to leave my body in Varanasi. But the 18 years are over, still I'm not dying. But then I'm continuing in Varanasi. Oh, that's wonderful. So I met him, etc. over. Then I came away. Afterwards, I heard a news about him. What was the news? The news was such strange news. See, I told you the Varanasi Kshetra, the geographic portion of Varanasi is between the two rivers, Varuna and Asi. If you go beyond the river, cross the river, it may come under the Varanasi district, but it is not exactly Varanasi. Is it not? So every place there are a lot of geographical entity, a limitation, what you call, a fencing is kept mentally. If you see the map, so Chennai map you see, then you see Bangalore. So Tamil Nadu and Bangalore, there is a small line has been given. But if you go to the exact place, you cannot see that line. You cannot say this is Karnataka, this is Tamil Nadu. You cannot say just by seeing the place. But in the map you can see. So likewise, the Varuna and Asi, in between, is the place that is called Varanasi. Now if you go the outer Varanasi, that means it is called Greater Varanasi. Nowadays, every city is increasing in area. So they call it Greater Noida, Greater Varanasi, Greater Calcutta. Here also Greater Tamil Nadu also you got greater places up there. Now recently Coimbatore has been added some 400 square meters and it has become very greater Coimbatore. So like that we find it. But those places, according to the scriptures, cannot be included in the original Varanasi place. So the Swami was there. I heard about the Swami who has been staying for 18 years. And then I heard this news from another Swami who was with him at the time of his death. How his death happened? So his great friend from another place, from Allahabad, came to Varanasi. Allahabad is having a mammoth function, a big function at that time. So he told the Swami, my dear brother, we both are too young at that time, we are friends also. So I want you to visit during the function time. You must come. He says, just because I want to leave my body in Varanasi, I have never gone out of Varanasi or this ashram. Our ashram in Laksa, that is within Varanasi, mind you. So if you go and stay in the guest house of Laksa, of our Varanasi center, you are in Varanasi. Of course, I don't want you to die, but I'm just telling you that place is such a holy place. Now, I'm staying here for 18 years. I don't want to leave this place. But then the friend Swami is not going to leave him. He compelled him, he took him. So the other Swami became his escort and they got into the train to go to Allahabad. Now, Allahabad, is it not a holy place? Don't ask that question. We are talking about Varanasi place only now. Now, he got into the train. The train crossed the river, Asi river, and it was passing on. The moment the Asi river was crossed, you have left the Varanasi Kshetram. Please keep in mind this. The moment you cross the river, the Kshetram is ended there. And he had a heart attack. He died in the train itself. Now you wonder, was it not a strange item for me when I heard it? He was there for 18 years thinking that his body should go in Varanasi, but just because you desire that it can be granted by Lord is not, there is no guarantee until. For that I told you this incident. So Varanasi is a great place. If you die there, definitely there is some significance is there. But that doesn't mean that you go there and stay there earlier and then you will die there. Recently, the death, the death is completely an enigma to most of us. What is death, we do not know. Why we are afraid? In South Africa, I used to address the elderly people, the overaged people in one center called Phoenix. And I used to go there and talk to them. Most of them are elderly people, senior people, senior citizens, they are called. So I used to address the senior citizens. So I would always bring the element of death in my talk there, so that they should remove from their mind the fear for death. Actually, you ask anybody in the world, what is the biggest fear in your life? Whether he is a young boy, as a youth, or is an elderly person, or even 98-year-old man, he will say that death is what I am afraid of. The fear of death is something, a great thing. To conquer the fear of death is what religion tells us. But most of us fail to conquer the fear of death. So the fear of death looms large as the age increases. And many people start speaking about the death. And they start telling us, oh, I am 80-year-old, how many years I am going to live? Like that they speak in a very nonchalant way. That's not proper, because you are expecting the death at any moment. I said, oh, why do you expect the death? Death has got its own function. When it is required, it will come to you, willy-nilly, whether you want it or not. Can you stop the death? No. Nobody can stop the death. In that case, why do you think that, oh, death has to be, death will come and then death is going to take away at its own time? So in Gita, Krishna says, Jatasya hi dhruva mrityu. Jatasya. Jatasya, those who are born, any jiva that is born, mrityu is dhruva mrityu. Dhruva means non-moving. No question of getting out from that. Dhruva mrityu. So mrityu is certain. And dhruvam janma mrityu is certain. When you have got mrityu, then another janma is also dhruvam. That is also certain. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani, jatare shayanam. Shayanam, you again sleep. Where you sleep after the death? In the mother's womb. Janani jatare, shayanam. You again sleep and again you come out, birth. And this birth and death is going on, is going on, is going on. Knowing this, you should not worry about the death. That is what Krishna says to Arjuna. Tasmad apariharyate. That which is inevitable, that cannot be stopped by you, that cannot be stopped by anybody else. That can be na tvam shochitum arhasi. This is not good for thinking about this. Shochitum, you should not even think about this. Because this is a thing that will definitely come to us. Now the question for that is, so the mrityu, The death has become a very big, fearful factor for most of us. We are not able to take out from us. And once you learn what is certain, which cannot be stopped at all, then you overcome the fear of death. Not that you overcome death itself. The death is only when do you overcome the death itself? There is also a policy. The spiritual life is to overcome not the fear of death, but overcome death itself. How do you come? Because immortality, amrtatvam. So asuto ma sadgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityor ma amritam gamaya. Mrityor ma. Mrityu is death. You have to transcend this mrityu and get into immortality. That is the spiritual life. That only can take you above or transcend the death. Otherwise, death is really, it is a very, very fascinating to study also. But most of us are afraid of death. That's why we search for places. A saint like Swami Sivananda Maharaj, for him, death had no problem at all. He is welcoming death. Oh death, Mrityu, come to me. He never prays, Mrityu me pahi mam. No, save me from Mrityu. He never prays. For him, this prayer is unnecessary. It is not wanted for him. He says, oh Mrityu, come. He who can welcome Mrityu, welcome death, Swamiji says on his poem on Mother Kali. He who can welcome death, he says. Are you able to rise to that level of welcoming death? Are you feeling absolutely unconcerned whether death comes or not? It doesn't matter. Because the body has to undergo some changes. Whatever changes it goes, it's like changing another cloth. When your worn out cloth is there, you throw it and put on new clothes. For every Diwali, we put a new clothes. Because the previous cloth has been worn out. So it is now tit bits. So you throw that. Vasansi jirnani yatha vihaya. Sri Krishna says a beautiful example of the torn clothes. He says, tata sharirani vihaya. From that, sharir also it goes out. And we have seen death in our families many times. But still we think we are not going to die. And we are afraid of death. That is why this death itself is an enigma. We are unable to understand. That's why the help of scriptures are required to clarify in our mind what actually is death. What is death? In Gita, 2nd chapter, Sri Krishna from the 11th sloka to 50th sloka, you see how he explains what is death. He says death is for this body only. Death, there is no death for the soul. Again and again he specifies to Arjuna, what you are going to kill, you think you are going to kill all these people. They are already killed by me. You just aim your arrow, that's all. They will fall down to death. Death has been already taken over them. That's why they have come to this battlefield. So you aim arrows, that's all. That is your duty you have to do. So what is death and how to overcome the death is what he tells these few slokas in chapter number 2. If you read it quietly with Chidvanandaji's explanation, you will understand what is actually death. Should I be afraid of death or not? So once your mind is clarified that you should not be afraid of death, then you see, you have got nothing. In Ranchi, I tell you, again I am going to Ranchi with an example. One gentleman was working in Mekong. It's a big company. And the lady rang him up in his office. And he said, dear, can you come 1 hour early to us, to the home? It was already 4 o'clock. Instead of coming at 6 o'clock, so why I will come immediately. So he came. And when he came inside, she was standing outside the house. He couldn't understand. And he came earlier than other days. And the lady is standing outside. He didn't understand why my wife is standing outside the home. And she took him inside to that bedroom. And the body was there, covered by a white cloth. And she removed the white cloth and showed him. And that was his 16-year-old son. Died in the school. They brought the body to the home. And what she's telling to her husband, that is important. She said to him, look, Thakur gave us this child to us. ঠাকুর এই সন্তানকে আমাদের দিয়েছে। আজকে ঠাকুর মনে করলেন তাকে নিয়ে যেতে হবে, সেই জন্য নিয়ে চলে গেলেন। She didn't weep, no tears from her eyes. The husband looked at her. He said, what? Being mother, you are talking like this? Like a Vedanti you are talking? Because why could she talk? She knew that she has no fear of death. The fear of death is gone from her mind. So she could take a death as change of clothes. You put on the old, get rid of the old clothes, put on the new clothes. It is so easy. So once you know the secret of death, you will never be afraid of death. So if you will reach that state of mind in your life, you don't need Varanasi. You don't need to go to Mahakumbha Mela. You don't need to die in Vrindavan. You don't need to die. You can die anywhere. Why? Because this Prithvi itself is a great holy place. So the Prithvi itself is a mother for you. In mother's lap, you are going to die. Anywhere. The lap is so big. Mother's lap is so big. The whole world comes under that. So for such people, it is not necessary where they are dying. So what he says, you see, here he says that as long as the master wants us here in the flesh, said, why should I run away from Belur Math to go and stay in Varanasi? Because I am in this flesh. This flesh is, I am within this flesh. As long as the master wants this flesh to be here and do some work, let me be here and die anywhere. So that nowadays, you see, as the devotees of Sri Ramakrishna, we also consider Belur Math structure. Within the Belur Math area, if you die, it is a great thing. So one Swami was living in, known to me, he was my second Mahanta in Kanpur center. Puranananda, his name was, great Swami. I learned from him many things. So he was, last days, he was posted in Institute of Culture, Calcutta. So he wrote a letter to Belur Math. What did he write, One day my body will fall off. At that time, don't send this body to Kevdatala crematorium, the electric crematorium. Don't send it. Allow this body to be cremated in Belur Math, he said. He wrote a letter, official letter. And Belur Math, of course, fulfilled his wish because that was his last desire. So that was fulfilled. So when I met him, after a long time, I became head of a center and he has become old. So whenever I used to go to Calcutta and I go to Institute of Culture, only for meeting him, I used to go there. So I went and made pranam to Maharaj because I joined under him. So I had great reverence for him. I said then he would embrace me in that old age and make me sit and give me sweets, etc. And then I asked, he was telling me jokingly, do you know, I have sent an official letter to Belur Math. I said, what did you write? I wrote this, that my body should be cremated in Belur Math. Then I asked Maharaj, for you of your station, of your progress in spiritual life, where you die, where this body falls, is it a concern for you? He said, you are right. You are talking sense. I understand what you are meaning, and I am also in that line only. But you may ask me, why did I write like that? Why not I die in Calcutta? Why should we die in Belur Math? You can ask this question. Because of all the things, I have one great weakness, and that weakness is towards Sri Ramakrishna. I have great weakness towards him. What to do? I want to die in the place where Swami Vivekananda made him sit. In that place, my body should be cremated. This is my weakness. Whether you accept this weakness or not, I don't care. I don't care anybody accepting or not. But this is my weakness. I have done that. So you see, mind can get into different faculties in this way that it can specify a particular area and consider it as a Punya Kshetra, as a holy land. And you can die there. So this death, once you get out of the fear of the death, a person can die anywhere. So dying in Belur is not a problem at all for Sivananda or anywhere else. He says that if the Lord protects, who can kill? And then he says, when the summons for release comes from the Lord himself, nobody can keep us here. Whatever you can keep us here. I was also had such misgivings in my life. I thought, I am going to die in a foreign country or what? Let me go back to India and die in India. India is a big country. Well, I did not say it is Belur Math or Varanasi or like that. So if at all the body has to die, let it die in India. Like that, I also had once that type of idea. But now after coming to Yelagiri, I find, dying in Yelagiri also is a very nice thing. Like that I feel. So the place is not important. What is important is, at the time of death, what do you remember? That is what important. So the place has got its own significance, religious-wise. Okay, we are accepting that. But you cannot hold on to the kindergarten lesson till all your life. When you are doing PhD, you cannot hold on to the kindergarten school. You have to leave the school. So the ideas get transformed. The ideas get, evolution. So the evolution of the spiritual ideas also must happen. So we accept the idea that death in Varanasi is good. But we also accept that there are, beyond this concept, there are other concepts also. That also we must keep in mind. That is how such a wonderful passage that we read it. And he says, if you are dedicated to Master, devoted to Master, what he says, their future is insured. So we all got insurance policy. What insurance policy? Not Star Insurance, not your other types of insurance companies that you say. We have got, say, Ramakrishna Insurance. And that insurance will give you, what it gives you, it is secures your future of one dying in Varanasi. If you think that in Varanasi the death is good, in that way, if you die anywhere else also, the Ramakrishna Insurance will protect me. So he is giving an example. Swami Thirugunatita, he died in San Francisco. So do you think he did not join with Ramakrishna? Not at all. You cannot think like that. He died in San Francisco, which is a Bhoga Bhumi. America is called Bhoga Bhumi. This Bharat is only considered Karma Bhumi and Yoga Bhumi and Bhakti Bhumi. All these things are adjectives for Bharat only. But America is considered the Bhoga Bhumi. There he died. Do you mean something bad for him? No. That's what he says. Did this affect him? He was certainly united with the Master after death. So the heart of a man in which God, the Lord of the universe, is enshrined. So you are aware that in your heart, Ramakrishna is staying within you. In that case, you die anywhere else, that is as good as Varanasi. So that is what. So, and he says, last line, such a man has no reason to be afraid. Don't be afraid of death. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Rama Krishna Arpanamastu. Thank you everyone for your patient listening, and I leave it to Prithvish.
Now, if anybody has any question, Jhuma, you have see any hands raised?
Hands were raised earlier, but I'm not seeing any hands raised now.
If any of you have a question, please unmute yourself and ask. We have got few minutes left.
It need not be a question. If you want to add something, if you want to have something, some other input, you are welcome. I will also learn from you, see.
Pranam Swamiji.
Yes.
How are you, Swamiji?
Oh, yes. Thank you, Nalini. Yes, tell me. Long time we didn't meet.
After listening this, we came, 6 members came to Elgirina, Swamiji.
Yes.
In our team, one woman, Usha, we told that she always carries Krishna with her.
Yes. Yes.
Her son also he got suicide, Swamiji, about 16 years at age. On the same day, Belgaum Ashrama was opening day. So she told, she did not weep at all. She told that today Belgaum Ashrama is opening and Sri Ram Krishna has taken Ahuti to his feet. She told in that way, and even she did not weep at all, Swamiji.
What she said in Kannada, can you repeat in Kannada?
In Kannada, Sri Ram Krishna Ram Homa. He taken Ahuti as his son. ಶ್ರೀರಾಮ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಹೋಮಕ್ಕೆ ನನ್ನ ಮಗನನ್ನ ಆಹುತಿಯಾಗಿ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, she told Swamiji.
So in the fire of Homa,
yes, Swami.
he has taken her son.
Yes, Swami.
What wonderful. This lady has not appeared at all there.
No, Swamiji. Now also she don't weep, and she will celebrate that death day as Belgaum Ashrama opening day.
Oh, wonderful. You see, the devotee, I tell you, there are many devotees who there. Yes, they are all fine. But they overcome the fear of death. Thank you for this beautiful example.
She was a great follower of Swami Purushottananda Swamiji Maharaj.
Acha.
And one question is there, Swamiji. What is that? Is Mukti and Moksha both are same or different, Swamiji?
See, we have three kinds of philosophies in Hinduism. And also other philosophies are there. Telling you major three kinds of philosophy. One is Dvaita, another is Vishishtadvaita, another is Advaita. So according to these philosophies, the term Mukti and the term Moksha are defined by different saints, different sages, different philosophers. So you cannot point blank, you cannot simply say Mukti is this, Moksha is that. But generally it is believed. So is there no general meaning for that? These two words? Yes, general meaning is there. What is the general meaning? The general meaning is Moksha is the Jivatma absolutely merging with Paramatma, from which there is no return to the Jivatma. This is called moksha. And this is broadly accepted as a definition of moksha. And broadly accepted definition of mukti, what it is? Mukti is that the person, the Jivatma, is completely goes towards the divine Ishta, whom it is enshrined in his heart. It goes to him and it stays with him. So if you say the Lord Vishnu is your Ishta Devata, and after that death, you go and stay with Vishnu. That is called Mukti. Here also you are not coming back. When you go to the Vishnu's Charana, you are not going to come back. But you stay with Lord Vishnu. You enjoy with being with Vishnu. That is called Mukti. This is the normal explanation. But as I told you, according to each philosophy, there are different definitions may be there. I am not interested in going to those trivialities. Yes.
Thank you, Swamiji. It's more than enough, Swamiji.
Okay.
The Mukti is highest than Moksha. Yes, Swamiji. Thank you, Swamiji.
Maharaj, I have a comment. Sorry, I was talking on mute, Maharaj. So, Maharaj, I have a comment. You mentioned about this, that the fear of death. And this is so true. And I think when I look slightly deeper into it, the fear, if I say I have about death, is what will happen to my near and dear ones after my death? Right. Maybe it all changes while I grow in age or maturity, etc. But that fear is, oh, what will have to happen to my pet dog? What will happen to my wife? Are my children mature enough to take care of them? I still need to guide them. I die. This whole family is going to collapse. I think that's that's the fear of death, and maybe that brings us back again to this life, this cycle.
Yes, Pritish, yes, that is true. That is normal with every one of us. Yes. But then, how do you overcome that feeling? You see, you are thinking, after me, what will happen to my children? What will happen to my wife? Have you not seen in this world the widows sustained till their 90 years without their husband? Have you not seen examples? Have you not seen children growing up without their parents?
True.
Have you not seen children growing up very beautifully without their parents? So why this idea comes is because with a wrong idea of egoism that I am taking care of my children, I am taking care of my wife, I am doing good things for my family, like that. In essence, you are not doing that. It is a superpower over you that is taking care of your wife, care of your children, care of other neighbors, everyone. You are not doing that. But you are wrongly identifying yourself with that I am doing. That's why the fear of death comes.
This is that.
So once you,
that Chotawami.
Lord is taking, as Nalini told this example, you see, Sri Ramakrishna has taken in the Ahuti her son. So what a wonderful thing. And like this Ranchi Nikon lady said, the Ramakrishna gave this child to us and he has withdrawn today at his will. Because you have to obey the Lord's will. So in that case, what happens? You don't have the fear. That is how you have to overcome the fear of death.
Wonderful explanation, Maharaj. I really, really appreciate this. Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you. Thank you.
Maharaj, you mentioned that the place of death is not important. What is important is the last thoughts with which you die. Place is not important. But
to a particular level of spiritual progress.
Oh, okay. So for ordinary people like us, so you does that mean that for ordinary seekers like us, if we die in places, holy places, that makes a big difference?
Yes, big difference. Definitely.
Okay. And regarding
a person like Sivananda, for whom God is everywhere, that Anubhuti has come. For him, place does not matter. Only to such persons.
To self-realized people, place is not important. But for people like us, mere mortals like us, place is important. Then we have to...
That is the question. Best phrase, mortals like us. Yes.
Mere mortals, yes. Okay. And another question I had is that I've often heard this, that people say what is important is what your next life will be determined based on your last dying thought. So does the Jivatma, not the Jivatma is immortal, but does the person, the body and the mind, does the mind come to know that that he or she is going to die very soon?
Yes. This we did not know this exactly what it is, but there is what is called the parapsychologists. They have done a lot of experiments. Even modern day experiments have come up on near-death experience. So if you read about the near-death experience, you will understand, yes, many people have prophesied that I am going to die on such and such a day. 2 years back, Swami Vivekananda did he not say on 2nd July, on 4th July, this body will not be there. So likewise, the people can prophesize about their death. They can know that death has come. Tomorrow, day after tomorrow, I am going to die. They can say. I have seen a Swami who was a disciple of Swami Brahmananji when I was in Seva Pratishtha in Calcutta. He told me, tomorrow Thakur is coming and he is taking me with him. Clearly he said. I said, no, Maharaj, tomorrow you are not going to die. He said, what you are talking about die? I am not talking about the death. I am going to go with Sri Ramakrishna. I am not talking about death, he said. So the immortality he has attained. He is not worried about the death. So it is true that a few people, whether they are some monks or not monks or householders, or even those people who are irreligious people, they do get a premonition, as it is called, premonition of death coming.
So does that premonition depend upon the spiritual evolution of the person? But both spiritually evolved, so they come to know. But okay, not everyone.
Not everyone.
Okay. Thank you, Maharaj. Any more?
There are some other places people are in the queue, you see.
No, I'm not seeing anyone in the queue.
I'm seeing my computer.
Oh, yes, I can see Nalini. Nalini, you have another question.
No, Nalini is over.
Oh, NS. I can see NS as, yes.
Yeah, NS is over.
Pranam Maharaj, this is Nacha from Singapore.
Oh, Nacha, okay. NS, I thought Melody.
Nacha Sokalingam. So
Okay, Nacha. Yes. Tell me, Nacha.
It's quite interesting that you're sharing about this, because I was in Varanasi and Kumbh Mela, and I was in Manikarnika. So it's great to know that Thakur was also there, that I'm on the same land that he has also visited. Yeah, it's great to know. My question is not really from today's talk. It's maybe it needs a different talk on its own series. Maybe I can talk to God, but how do I know that God is talking to me? Sometimes I think it is through nature, but I don't know if I'm imagining or He's talking to me. No, I'm talking to Him. I know, because I'm just talking like He's here, right?
Okay.
I want to know when God is. When Thakur, God, whatever we call as energy, the supreme most, when they are talking to us, how do we know that? How to listen to that? How to see that?
Thank you, Nacha, for this question. Of course, as you said, this itself requires a 1 hour talk on some other day. But everything can be done, in a Puranic style. You can go for years and years and years talking about something, or in a very brief also you can say it. So briefly put, it is like that. The God to whom you are talk sincerely, very sincere, that sincere word has to be underlined and bold. If you talk to God sincerely, God will make you understand what He wants to convey to you. In what means He is making to convey to you, that we do not know. But He makes you understand. One devotee said that I wanted to go outside to the ashram. My husband said, no, you should not go. Then we had a big discussion, big disagreement. And then finally he agreed, okay, you ask your Thakur. If Thakur gives you permission, you go. So how do you know that Thakur will give you permission? I don't know. So suddenly I remembered, Maharaj, she was telling me, Maharaj, one of your talks, you told me one method to ask Thakur and get reply from him. What is that method? I myself forgot. I said, what was that method? Then she said, you told me to open the book Gospel and read that page, and the answer will be there. So in the presence of my husband, I opened the Gospel book and in that page, Sri Ramakrishna is telling somebody, go. So that one word is got, go. I told him, see, God has answered me, go. That means we shall go to ashram. So like that, in what ways He comes and tells you is not important at all for you. You should not worry how He is going to convey His thoughts to you. What you should say is that He will make you eligible. He will make you qualified for understanding His instructions to you. And that may come in any form, in any manner. I remember a sadhu meeting in Vrindavan. He was a Vaishnava sadhu, a Bengali sadhu, and then born Bengal. So I asked him, Maharaj, when we meet, Swamis, so we ask internally, so how did you become monk? What was the thing that inspired you, etc., etc. So in the same way I asked him. He told me one funny thing. He said he was staying with his sister. The parents have gone, and the sister used to consider him as her own child, along with the other children. So he was so young. The sister got married very early, and she took up the nurturing of this boy, that is brother, as her own son. So that was it. And the lady, that is the sister, got a child. And the child, that niece, was so fond of this mama. Naturally, he was also very fond of this girl. but he had great intention to renounce the world and go away. So now the problem came there that how to leave the house, because the niece is so loving to him and is only 3-year-old, and the sister is just like a mother to him. How does he tell her that I want to leave the house and become a monk? He did not dare to tell her because she will be upset. She will be hurt. So he did not want to tell. And he was only praying to Lord Sri Krishna, "Oh Lord Krishna, please convey me your answer to me." So he was praying to him. And one day, quietly, he got up at the time of 4 o'clock or so, and he opened the gate slowly without any sound or noise. And then he just stepped out of the house. And he was stunned to see that 3-year-old girl is standing behind him. And he was stunned. At that moment of leaving the home, that whom he loved so much, that niece is standing. Now how can he leave her and go?
Thank you, Maharaj. I think,
Oh, wait. I'm not finished.
yeah.
Sorry for the interference of bell.
Yeah.
But anyway, they have to do their duty, you see. So they have done that. So now we are not worried about the teen, so don't worry. So now I'm telling you, this would-be Swami, this boy who wants to renounce house, he saw the niece and all his attraction to niece, came on and said, "Oh, how can I leave my niece and go away?" But how does Lord talk to him? The niece came near to the door and said, "Ja, ja." Only that word she knows. Ja, ja. Means go, go. And he left the home, thinking Lord Krishna has answered me. So how does God talk to you? You should not worry about that at all. He has got the ways and means to make you understand that he is talking to you. That is his business. You pray sincerely. The word sincerely is to be noted down. That's all. Anything?
Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you. Yes, Vani is there in the line. Yes, Vani. Open your mic.
Yes, Vani, you're muted, Vani. Do you have a question? Or is the hand raised by mistake?
Okay.
Looks like. Okay, so Maharaj, it's well past the time, so your tea is also ready. And pranam.
Okay, Durga, table.
Pranam.
Pranam, Maharaj.